This is so fascinating to me. I feel like an alien. I haven't talked about it a lot, but the world-renowned television show by the name of... Please don't copyright strike me. The world-renowned television show by the name of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon is back very soon. And they are just like, whoever is doing their marketing is very much leaning into the, you know. I saw the replies on this, and I think I unironically have to, like, scout them out before I actually show them on stream, because there were a lot of people that were real mad. So, sorry, we want Carol. I'll wait. I'm looking at the most liked replies, by the way. These are the most liked replies. These are not like the people who have paid for blue. A way to manipulate Daryl yet again. Find a way to what exactly? Manipulate and in other ways mentally abuse Daryl into staying in France. Look at the picture, by the way. Doubt it since she failed last time. Or are we retconning season 1? If we're gonna talk about retcons, I don't think we should even begin this conversation. Way to what? Manipulate Daryl to stay in France away from his real family? Carol will shut that down pretty quick. To her grave. Which way? We all know that she does in season 2. She manipulates Daryl. Don't care. Find a way to what exactly? Except for the first episode of season 1 where she was only standing totally useless and waiting for someone to save her. Even the kid had to do that. You know what I think this is an outcome of? This is an outcome of exactly what I talked about. This is an outcome of you leading way too far into fanfiction, not fanfiction, but like fan service, and then you get fanfiction as a result of that. Because there has always been like a very strong bond implied between Daryl and Carol, and ever since that there have been shippers saying Daryl and Carol, they should like end up together, but Daryl's character was constantly about being alone, like that was his whole thing. And then they wrote in Leah, right? And Leah, you know, she was a waste of time, basically. I thought Leah was one of the most interesting characters they'd come up with in Season 10, and then they completely ruined her character and the entire story with Daryl for no reason whatsoever except introducing the worst villains the TV show has ever had. So, that's pretty eventful, I guess. But now, I think they're reaping what they sowed, basically. I think this is unironically an outcome of them doing very poor community management, and now like most casual viewers have left, and the only people they have left are these actual, and I use the word in its clearest form, fans. Like, not fans as in viewers and people who enjoy the show, but actual fanatical viewers who are mad as all hell. Because I am mad about The Walking Dead because I don't like it anymore. I think a lot of their stories are really bad, but I have never been this mad. This is like, it's so toxic. It is so toxic. It's insane. People are really angry about this. I'm probably not gonna like keep up with this at all. I'm gonna see like what they have for season 2. But I'm not watching the whole thing. I'm not. They made another tweet and I even memed about this because like, I don't care that people are mad. Like, people are weird, they're always mad. But what I care about is that, like, look at this. Against all odds, Daryl will find his way home to Carol. And I just wrote, somehow, Carol returned. Because that's literally what it is. They're just making stuff up now. And the only thing they're left with is, like, really toxic people who are, like, almost... I think this would be a place where I would actually use the term toxic positivity. Because a lot of these people, they're not even dissing the show. They are just being incredibly insane about a ship. I don't care about her, honestly, and the picture is Carol. Carol Daryl. A way to get bitten by a walker. The Book of Carol. Picture is Daryl and Carol. Picture is Carol. And the worst part about this is that I actually agree with a lot of the sentiment. I do think she was written in there as ship bait. I do think so. In the same way that, like, the whole Leah storyline was sort of written with Connie in mind, I think. And now what they're left with is people who are actually... They genuinely have, like, an unhealthy obsession with the characters, right? Usually we see that in the opposite direction. That people, like, really hate something. Now you're seeing that in the complete opposite direction, where it's like unironic survivorship bias, and like the people who are still watching and still following it are obsessed with their like fan fiction and headcanon now coming true. Why do they think that way? Because that is literally what the show has been about. This show has been about pleasing viewers for many years. No one ever shipped anything in Kirkman's book because they just died. It was very hard shipping characters because they just didn't survive. And now you can ship characters, and if you ship characters, they will get together. Because that is The Walking Dead in the year 2024. One day, we're gonna be back. One day, we're gonna be back. I think it's only a matter of time before we are back. Someone is gonna swoop in, and they're gonna save us from the hands of AMC. People are really angry, though. Let me look at this. See what I mean? This is the against all odds Daryl will find his way home. Do you see what I mean? This is insane. Why go home to Carol when showrunner David Zabel is flapping his gums saying Daryl and Carol won't be a couple, thus alienating half the fan base? This is fascinating to see for me. This is so fascinating to me. I feel like an alien. And they're saying the same things. Look at it. Are these actually the same people? They're even using the same language of like alienating the core fan base. I don't mean to be once again like the bringer of bad news, but they alienated the core audience by like season 10. Just putting it out there. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. They actually made a whole TV show for shippers. Oh my god. Sounds like Hot D Season 2. I don't think it actually is like Hot D Season 2. The reason why I don't think it's like Hot D Season 2 is because the Hot D Season 2 was just mismanaged and sort of like iffily written, but it never leaned into fan service. This leans 100% into satisfying people's headcanons, satisfying fanfictions, and essentially you know what they're doing? They are unironically doing what every single procedural drama does when they have two characters who are like clearly supposed to be together, but they never get together, right? Like, this is what Lucifer did for 3 seasons, for example, right? This is what one of my favorite shows ever, I've mentioned this before, Scorpion did for like 5 seasons together. You know that the main dude and the main girl will get together, but they don't. Why? Because that's what keeps you watching. That is the only core piece of drama that like revolves, like the whole story revolves basically around that individual drama. And that's what they're doing, because their whole like fundamental story is simply not compelling. And it is so sad to me. It's so sad to me. And when I read these comments, I genuinely feel like I feel like an alien. This is The Walking Dead. And the only comments are from actual unironic shippers. All of them. Look at them. All of them have Carol as their profile picture. Actually, yeah, fair point. The Rhaenyra and Allison plot is probably the closest thing. Yeah, you're right about that. The Rhaenyra and Allison plotline is like the single closest thing to what The Walking Dead is doing, I think. Yeah, fair point. True. I'm so shocked and sad. Dropped The Walking Dead after the season Negan showed up. You should read the books. I really, like... I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. And this is a fantasy of mine, right? This is a fantasy of mine that's never going to happen. I really want to try to reach out to Kirkman and try to get like some sort of interview with him. I don't think it would ever happen. I don't think he does that kinds of things. I think he's just like way too busy, and I am way too small. I would love to talk to Kirkman about this stuff. There are a lot of questions he probably wouldn't ever answer. The ones I would actually like to ask. But this is... You know what this is? This is that meme of, like, you wake up from a coma, and you fell into a coma in the year 2013, right? And you wake up, you're like, oh my god, Did they reach Negan? Have they finally reached Negan? Oh my god, I'm so excited to watch. And then the doctor is next to you like, I'm sorry, son. Lots of things have happened. They did reach Negan, but at what cost? Man. Scorpion was pretty wild for that. The Scorpion ending, like the ending to the entire show, literally, I think it took like at least 6 to 12 months off my lifespan. I think I popped like 3 blood vessels, and it wasn't good. Like, obviously, the reason why it happened is because it was cancelled and they were trying to pull a Hail Mary by, like, splitting up the entire gang to, like, try and get, like, a new season, right? That was exactly what they were doing. But, oh my god. All that for nothing. This is what happens when they destroy Tumblr's containment zone of these people. I think these people always existed and they always will exist. The problem is that AMC is encouraging them. Right? Like... This is, in what universe can The Walking Dead use an unironic shipping tag in their own promo? What the hell? Love doesn't die. One day we're gonna be back. One day. Sounds like Voltron. Thankfully, I don't know what that is. What you're referencing. What I think they should have done with Daryl is... they should have made him like a wandering nomad, and he should have been the catalyst for telling other stories that have nothing to do with anything. Obviously, they should have done a better job of covering up the fact that Rick is, like, gone and he just leaves. Literally everyone, including the kids he promised to protect. Which, by the way, people talk about, like, literally, what's her name? Isabel? Her, like, manipulating Daryl. Are we just gonna, like, not even think about the fact that Daryl was literally their only parent and bro just, like, literally got into weird shenanigans and disappeared? I would have made him, like, a wandering dude. And, like, through the wandering thing, he would have, like, found new people and just, like, told new stories through that. This whole, literally, they're making a love triangle 20 years into the apocalypse is nonsensical, and I hate it. Was it worse? It literally, like, if you're talking about the Scorpion ending, the Scorpion ending is not an ending. Basically what they did, and this is like, I will gladly spoil you, because you need to be spoiled on this. Basically what happened is, in the final episode, or like the final 2 episodes, there was like big drama, right? And because the showrunners weren't certain that they would get another season, they decided to basically go all in, and totally break up the gang to, like, have massive drama that would hopefully make, like, the executives think that it would garner hype and get them another season, right? So, the season ended with the biggest conflict among the entire, you know, little found family. It ended with a literal dagger in your heart, where all the characters you had followed for years hated each other. They hated each other to the point that we had never seen before. Nothing like that had ever happened. Because it wasn't an ending. It was a jumping off point for a big story. The story just never happened. I think the Lost finale, and I've said this before, I think watching Lost, I've talked about Lost before, but I think, like, the way I think about Lost is watching it is an interesting experience, but I don't think Lost is a particularly good show. I don't. It feels like Lost is sort of written as you're just making it up along the way. That's what it feels like to me. I think watching it and being sort of in that liminal space of following it is interesting, but at a certain point, you're just going on a wild goose chase and you're literally being it feels like you're being led around like one apartment block, and you're constantly being, like, told that, wait, no, we're not taking constant left turns because there's, like, a reveal at some point, or I don't even know where I'm going with this analogy, but you see where I'm going at. What I'm getting at. It's like literally the same thing over and over and over and over, and it's just like interesting to follow, but at a certain point it's like it's what people say about The Walking Dead, but unironically. It's the same premise constantly. The Walking Dead's doing even worse. It doesn't even have the seasonal bump. Lost is one of the series that popularized like the sort of school or conversations that made The Walking Dead so successful. Like the week-to-week watching experience talking about the newest episode, Lost had so much of that. Because like the premise of Lost was 100% mystery, right? But yeah, I need to look into this rabbit hole. Hold on. Voltron Season 3... Like, the dream for the channel is if I could ever get a, like a sit-down conversation with Kirkman. I think if I did that, I could, like, retire happy. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that, though. I don't. There's a lot of stuff I would like to ask him.